I wanted to say to any Africans watching, although North Africa, I don't know if this applies to you because there are issues, but particularly people from West Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, I just want to say that as a South African, I want you to know that it's not all of us. I know there's been a lot of vitriol, hatred spewed over the last few weeks, and I just want you to know that it's not all South Africans. There are some of us who still remember Robert Sobukwe. There are some of us who still remember the contributions of various African countries in our fight against apartheid. We remember. Xenophobia occurs in countries across the world and is used as a political ploy by politicians across the world. I mean, that goes without saying, right? I think in South Africa, because that finds expression in Afrophobia and like a very hypocritical, white-loving, master-worshipping Afrophobia, that I felt like there was a need to say, it's not all of us. Like, it's not all of us. Because it's also been really embarrassing to see tweets where people are saying that they'd rather have white people here than Nigerian people here. It's honestly really, really embarrassing. So I just want to say it's not all of us.
Bible, I don't remember having voted or chosen anybody to go and speak on my behalf. Who sent you to go and apologize on my behalf to the world of something I don't believe I am guilty of? I'm so sorry. Maybe you did. Please let me know in the comment section if you sent this girl to go speak on your behalf because she doesn't speak for me. Hello everyone, welcome to GNU according to CD, and that is the Government of National Unity. Now we are having people speaking on our behalf, chasing clouds, because they got picked up by this channel that is pushing hard on this agenda of pan-Africanism. Now, guys, I have to be honest with you. I have to be honest with you about pan-Africanism. Number one, I think it's a great concept. It's a concept that I think will unite the Black people all around the world to speak in one language, have the same mindset, and etc. and so on, so that we are never again marginalized by anybody. And if anyone shows us hatred or marginalize us or racialize us, we don't have to worry about them. We know that we have each other. And as long as we support each other's businesses, we support each other's endeavors, we support each other in every level, and make sure that no man is left behind, no woman is left behind in terms of our unity as the Black nation in the diaspora, as well as wherever we may be. It's a great concept. I do believe that. However, this concept is also skating on thin ice, especially here in South Africa, because it is weaponized mostly against the citizens of this country who are concerned about how things are ran in this country, especially people that purport or call us brothers, call us sisters, but they come into our communities and sell drugs, kidnap our children, and kill our people. And we're supposed to turn a blind eye simply because the person is Black, and we are with the pan-Africanism idea. Why is this concept, I'm beginning to ask myself, must be in South Africa? Why South Africa must be the epicenter for pan-Africanism? It makes no sense to me, because every time, if you really, really care about Black people like that, then how come we have another Black person that stole another Black person's ID and rendered this person's life into misery for the past 23 years? And these pan-Africanists, they don't talk about that. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to be reminded of that. But no, South Africans must take it up where the sun does not shine, because we are Black. And if you dare speak, you are anti-Black, you are anti-pan-Africanism, you are this and you are that. And that is why the channel that I'm going to show you after this very video of this clout chaser that is apologizing on behalf of South Africans for having asked valid questions about this Nigerian girl, Chidima, and say, wait a minute, this does not look good. It does not sound right. There is no way that in our communities, I'm talking Black communities, where we are born of chiefs, of kings and queens, Induna, you name them, do not call us these particular names, and let alone a surname that is like that is not part of our community. But when you ask that question, they say, why are you hating on a black person? And now that the story has come out that fraud and corruption was committed, and possibly the owner of this ID that made this Chidima girl a South African citizen, stealing the identity as well as the privileges and rights of that of a South African kid who probably has never even been to school because they never had an ID. Possibly don't even have a matric, so that at least they can be a driver or a stock taker or something, or a what do you call these people at the garage, petrol attendant, simply because they don't have the right papers. And we must take pan-Africanism like it really cares about our people. I know this particular channel, it pushes Julius Malema like nobody's business. They love Julius Malema. Julius Malema is the god and nothing else of pan-Africanism in Africa. And they try their level best to push him down our throats, that we should listen to Julius Malema. Julius Malema is the correct person in Africa. He speaks logic, da da da. But they don't talk about how he's accused of VBS Mutual Bank, where black people today are suffering as a result of the 5 million rand or 20 million rand that he's alleged to have taken from VBS Bank for shushing up, for not holding the bank accountable for the black people that today live in poverty. Those, their descendants, their children who did not get the opportunity to go to school because their grandmother's money or their parents' money that was saved or being invested in a VBS Mutual Bank was to take them to school so that they can be somebody today. Nobody is talking about that, and this channel will never talk about that, because Julius Malema is the god of pan-Africanism in South Africa, and every black South African must listen to this thief, allegedly. There is no way that pan-Africanism can be accepted in any black community in South Africa that is sober-minded and say, yes, Julius Malema definitely cares about the black people, when himself does not love black people. He stole from black people, allegedly. There's no way. And this same channel never once held Chidima accountable or held the father or the mother accountable for the atrocities that they've committed against a South African woman, black South African woman, and her child. But no, we must embrace pan-Africanism. How did this great ideology turn into anti-black is what I'm asking. There is no way that pan-Africanism is going to win in South Africa. And I do foresee black South Africans pushing back and don't want to hear about pan-Africanism if South Africans are the ones that need to bend backwards. Why should we bend backwards when these people don't love us? They sell drugs to our children. They kill our people when they're going to work and coming back from work. Dare you drive a VW? Dare you drive a Range Rover? Dare you drive a Haval today? Dare you drive a Toyota? Dare you drive a Mercedes-Benz? Dare you drive a Fortuner? Your life is taken by these people when they hijack you. And that is pan-Africanism at its best, right? They say we hate black people. South Africans hate. How are we hating on black people when the same black people are killing us, selling us drugs, destroying our communities, our cities and towns? What kind of pan-Africanism is that? And I am saying, push back. Do not accept this idea. Do not accept this idea for as long as it turns you into the perpetrator and the perpetrator a victim. Because this is what this channel is saying about Chidima. This is what this channel is saying about the people of South Africa, that we are the perpetrators. Chidima is the victim. All the foreign nationals that sell drugs, that kidnap children, human traffic them, doing all these ills in our communities, they are the victims of South Africans. That is pan-Africanism. Push back, fellow South Africans. Let's not allow it here. If this idea is going to turn us into the bad people, let's not accept it. Push back, deny it. Do not even embrace it, because you are the perpetrator. The criminals, they are black. They are only here to contribute, they say. Contribute what? If we had to go to SARS right now and say, okay, can you go to all the people that's standing in street corners of our major cities during working hours, doing nothing, just standing there in the street corners? How much taxes have they paid into SARS? Let's hear what pan-Africanism, what they were doing with SARS in contributing positively into the economy. If pan-Africanism, it is anything that means do not hold yourself accountable when you are caught committing a crime in South Africa, do not accept it. Scream as if you saw a ghost and run away from it. When anybody tries to instill it like this particular channel I'm going to show you, do not watch it, because their main purpose is to indoctrinate you, they are sensitizing you to accept pan-Africanism. And at the same time, they say nothing positive about South Africa in their reporting. I saw a clip 2 weeks ago when the Chidima story came out. A South African journalist or anchor of this particular channel said some very nasty things about South Africans, meaning her own people. They indoctrinated her and they won her over, and today she's spitting shit on South Africans simply because her bosses, who are so-called pan-Africanist, told her, this is the script you are going to read, and you are going to guilt trip the people of South Africa for being patriotic to their country. Tell them about pan-Africanism, that in pan-Africanism, nobody is held accountable. We protect, defend, and make sure that the perpetrators, they do not feel uncomfortable in South Africa because they are black. We cannot accept this under any circumstances, fellow South Africans. Let's push back. Push back so that tomorrow we're not going to have another one like this girl that is apologizing for us being patriotic to our country because she's busy chasing clout, so she can make it to channels like this one that want to indoctrinate us with pan-Africanism and not hold accountable the people that are fucking up our country. Let's not, fellow South Africans, push back on this idea. It is not for us. We are children of kings and queens. And pan-Africanism is not just going to wipe them over or set them aside. Because you know pan-Africanism, it comes with what? It comes with unculture. They take away your culture, your belief systems, and they want to impose an idea that is not going to work in any of our favor. Defend your culture. Defend yourself. Defend your citizenship. Because pan-Africanism, apparently only South Africa must open its borders. For what? For what? So that Julius Malema is the leader of this so-called borderless Africa. You can tell if you are not paying attention. This is something that I've been looking at for the longest time when it comes to the EFF. Julius Malema is conditioning South Africa and South Africans to be the administrative capital of Africa when so-called Africa is borderless. And guess who will be the dictator? Stealing from the people he's supposed to love. And then, of course, you're going to have so-called pan-Africanists who are pseudo-intellectuals coming from the US in particular that do everything in their level best to try and make us feel guilty about being patriotic to our country. Right now, by a better because a white girl won Miss South Africa. Listen, for the past 30 years, I have been saying this and I'm going to continue to say it. South Africans took a path. We took a path of forgiveness and unity amongst us. Yes, there are those that don't want to work with us, but they want to divide us and make sure that South Africa becomes yet another failed state so that they can come pouncing and then turn our country like every other state on the African continent. That is the idea of pan-Africanism in South Africa. They found us in peace. They found us a rainbow nation. They found us working together with those that want to work with us. They found us having a different race, Miss South Africa, and they're now asking dumb questions. Why having white people? White people are not South African or African. No, this is the path we chose. Call us whatever names you want to call us. This is the path we took. That is our principle. And we are not going to relent or look back or whatever that they want us to do. They want us to kill. That's what they want us. They want us to drive people. They know what consequences South Africa is going to suffer if we did that. Look at Zimbabwe. Don't run too far. Just look up our noses. Zimbabwe. What happened to them? This is exactly what they want us Black South Africans to be. Because they know us Black South Africans, we don't have anywhere else to run to. White people can run somewhere because they are going to be accepted if they had to be refugees from South Africa. You, as a Black South African, where are you going to run to when the world sanctions us, makes sure that we never, ever get to see what success is? Zimbabwe, case in point. At least they are able to run down here. And on top of that, they have others. They have dual citizenship of Zimbabwe, the UK, Zimbabwe, the US, Zimbabwe, Canada, Zimbabwe, Australia, Zimbabwe, India, and all those sort of stuff. What do you have? What do you have if you accept pan-Africanism the way it is presented to us right now? Nobody's going to be held accountable. The perpetrator is the victim, and the victim is the perpetrator. Do not allow this idea. Do not support this channel. Because if you find yourself watching this channel over and over, you will be turned into this girl. Unpatriotic. Again, who voted for her or chose her to go and speak on your behalf? I've already cut myself out of this. I was not in that election or choosing ceremony. I did not choose her. So she's not speaking for me. So fellow South Africans, the choice is yours. The fight, it's just begun. We've been living in peace. And now that the spotlight has come to South Africa, and now they're discovering things about us that they don't like. Why should we give a fuck what you think? This is our country. And this is the path that we chose. Respect it. Respect it. You will still see a Miss South Africa that is either black or white or colored or Indian. You're going to have to deal with it. That's the country we chose to be. You're going to have to deal with it. So leave us alone. And pan-Africanism, I don't think it's going to work in South Africa, just like passport bros never worked in South Africa. Push back, fellow South Africans, against this ideology. I was supporting it for the very long time, but now it's exposing what it is in reality. And the aim and the target is South Africans, Black South Africans, because they figured for fools, that we are easy to fool. And that is why they're pushing it so hard in this country. I'm going to show you the video. I'm going to show you the video. Show me where it says anything positive about South Africa. And this is not the only video, by the way. It's not the only video. They may show you other videos where they're introducing themselves and say, oh, South Africa, this, and all this nice stuff that will make you feel good. But like alcohol in the belly, they turned on us. They wanted us to accept them, welcome them, and make them feel at home when they had an agenda to come and poison the minds of Black people. And then they guilt trip you by saying pan-africanism. We got to love each other as Black people. And they are interfering with a country that has been working. We are no problem to anybody. We are no parasites. We are not nuisance. We are not bothering nobody in your countries. Why did you think that South Africans are a weak target? You came to a nation that is stronger probably than any other country on the planet. We've been through a lot. Let me tell you that. And every time we came out victorious. What makes you think we're not going to come out victorious of this so-called shady pan-Africanism? Pan-Africanism has come to divide the people of South Africa. Let me tell you something. Once they've driven white people out and Indians out and goodness knows who else out, they are now going to divide us along tribal lines. They are going to start with racial lines, try and divide us. And then from there, they're like, no, we cannot have a superior tribe. We cannot have an inferior tribe, as if there is a superior tribe and an inferior tribe. But they're going to tell you that this tribe thinks it's superior. Let's get rid of it. It's always one thing or another. Look at Rwanda, what happened in 1994. Because somebody came and told the people of Rwanda that the Tutsis are superior culture over the Hutus. Or the other way around, I can't remember. Look at Nigeria. Nigerians hate themselves. Hence, their country is in shambles because of tribalism. The Igbos are crying and saying, this time around, an Igbo is supposed to be the president of the country, but because the Igbo tribe is marginalized in Nigeria, and hence there is no Igbo president. That is pan-Africanism at its best. And they want to bring it here to South Africans. No. No, it's not going to happen. They can use Mia all they want. Weaponize her against Black people. We are steadfast and we are supporting Mia. Like all the other Miss South Africa of different race than Black people. We stood by them, supported them, because they do represent the identity of South Africa. They might be white, but the South African identity, they carry it with them. Whether they've been in our townships or not, whether they speak isiZulu or not, they are South Africans. And Mia is a South African Afrikaans woman. And we stand behind her 100%, and no pan-Africanist is going to tell us otherwise. We've been like this for the past 30 years, nice and closed from the world. Just because you discovered us and you discovered that South Africa is a rainbow nation with white people, now you want to get rid of part of us? Fuck you. You are not going to take any piece of us. You're not going to do that. We're not going to allow you. You can come with every ideology in the world to try and indoctrinate us into something we are not. And not because if we hated Black people, why everybody is here? Why is South Africa the United Nations? Why is South Africa the African Union? Why is South Africa is all these blocks on the African continent if we hated Black people? Why this unity must only happen here in South Africa? Because South Africans are being sold out by Julius Malema And now you guys want us. It's good that people that were supporting the EFF came to a realization in these past elections and said, no, you are the devil. You are the devil. I'm not going to vote for you. And they reduce him to 9%. In the next elections, it will be by strike of luck or by the skin of his tooth if he ever wins something in the next elections. But in 2026, the local government elections, you'll be a fool to vote for EFF. They are not South African, and they are not for South Africans. They are pan-africanists. That's not us. That's not our identity. And let's not be fooled by them. Let's not be fooled. This girl is not a South African. She's not patriotic to this country. She's sellout, a traitor, and we cannot support that. Anyways, guys, without wasting too much of your time, because that video, I'm busy editing it, I'm going to show you how it is trying to indoctrinate us. But they are spitting vile and venom at us to make us feel guilty and chase out white people. It's not going to happen. We chose a path, and that path needs to be respected by those that are discovering South Africa. We've been working fine. Yes, I agree. There are lots of inequality. I agree. But we are not sitting on our laurels either about it. We are not. So you're not going to come here and try and make us feel guilty and turn against each other, because it starts with one and then it goes to another and another. And the next thing we know, South Africa is yet another failed state. Just like all these other countries, people that are here in South Africa. They at least got somewhere to run away to. Where are you going to run away? Where are you going to run away to? No, think about it. Where, if shit hits the fan, where are you going to run away to as a South African citizen? Because this is your only home. You are stuck here. If something had to happen right now, they are able to pack their bags and go home. What home or another home do you have? Think about it. That is what pan-Africanism or Africanism is trying to do to you. It's trying to pressure you into accepting rubbish, criminals, nuisance, parasites, because they are black. You got to love them. I know I'm going to be accused of all kinds of things. I don't give a fuck. I just want to let you know right now. I care about my country. I care about my people in all their races. Yes, we do have racists, unfortunately. And yes, Orania exists. And guess what? Orania is a good example of what rotten people are. Find them there. They are our demonstration to the world. So if you think you're going to throw in that argument, I'm saying to you, yes, they exist, and we don't do anything about it because we want you all to see the rots or rotten people. That's where you'll find them. So we are not going to be guilt-tripped no more. We are not going to be guilt-tripped no more. We are not going to be gaslighted no more. We refuse. And now we are rejecting pan-Africanism. Well, let me speak for myself. I am rejecting pan-Africanism in its current format. It's coming to say, you South Africans hate black people, so that these black people who are drug manufacturers, who are killers, hijackers, human traffickers, they are the right ones, and they are victims of South Africans. Excuse me. Girl, next time when you are going to go out to chase clout, leave our name out of it. Anyways, guys, please like this video. Before you go, like this video and also subscribe, leave a comment. Are you a pan-Africanist? Are you welcoming pan-Africanism in its current form? And why? Are you the perpetrator in all of this? Hater of black people, as they call us? Or you are just trying to get things done the right way by law. There's a woman out there and her child or children unregistered, undocumented, and without an ID in South Africa, you are as good as non existent. It's a difficult life, especially as you become an adult. You can access anything, anything. But South Africans were wrong, are wrong, because we are fighting for what is right for our people. How twisted is that? Because that is anti-pan-Africanist, that's anti-black. For fighting for a woman who suffered for 23 years so that Chidima has a good life. A life where she can go to school, she can apply for grant, but it doesn't look like she needed any. I mean, she lives in a mansion from what I've seen in pictures. And a South African was robbed of every privilege and rights that she has in this country. A whole South African. Let that sink in, pan-Africanists. When are you going to hold the criminals accountable? When are you going to say, we see what South Africans were fighting for, and they were right in the way they were fighting for their country? And once that has been cleaned, now let's talk about this pan-Africanism. How is it going to benefit the people of South Africa? How is it going to benefit the continent of Africa as well? That is all. Is that difficult? But no, with all the nonsense that is happening on the African continent, we must accept it. No, let them fix their countries first. Tell them to leave Julius Malema. Go help them if you have to in rebuilding their countries. And then we can sit down on the round table and discuss this pan-Africanism. Right now, I reject it. Bye.